Good evening, I'm Jo Marie Lanza, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. Tonight, Belize's foreign minister reacts to the sudden hard line taken by the Guatemalan government. He says the Guatemalans have him confused. And Acting Commissioner of Police Bart Jones out in the field, he talks about what it's like being the top cop. Also, as a mother of 3, she went to study to be a doctor. But tonight, Dr. Kira Medina says the internship program at the KHMH has broken her. She's speaking up and hoping to force things to change. You'll see her story. Also, did the PM's sister, Vanessa Briceño, get special treatment? Or did she pay her tax? You'll hear from the Director-in-Chief of the Tax Department. These stories and more are ahead on 7 News Tonight, so please stay tuned.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The new e-invoicing tax system means every purchase will be visible to those in power before you've even paid for it. Because in their minds, you're not citizens. You're suspects. And when they want to enforce, they can cherry pick. It's who they decide that gets sent to prison. It's who they say gets their heads shaved. And it's never the politicians.
Belizeans need to pay their taxes.
The Prime Minister's sister, Vanessa Briceño, is said to owe $11 million in taxes.
She went in there and she negotiated.
They can negotiate. Young Belizeans trying to come up in the world can't. With their new surveillance system, justice becomes a weapon. And it's aimed right at us. It's time to stand up and speak out before it's too late.
We are the Public Utilities Commission. Since 1999, we have regulated Belize's electricity, water, and telecommunication sectors, ensuring quality services at reasonable rates for consumers. A lot has changed since our establishment in 1999, and so have we. To reflect our evolution and future-focused vision, we are proud to introduce our new identity, where the blend of colors show our balanced and inclusive approach to regulation, where innovation, sustainability, and trust are all equally important. Orange represents the telecommunications sector and symbolizes innovation and connectivity. Green reflects the energy sector, sustainability, and national growth. Blue represents the water sector, highlighting trust, stability, and life-sustaining resources. White symbolizes transparency and accountability, core principles of the PUC. We are the Public Utilities Commission, transitioning to a new look, but our core values remain the same: accountability, excellence, integrity, innovation, and professionalism. Our logo is more than a design. It is our visual commitment to continue to serve the people of Belize with transparency, competence, and professionalism. We are the Public Utilities Commission.
Look here, your kitchen light, Diana, you never in the kitchen.
But I'm going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try keep my coffee warm for later.
Where do you know?
I'll try to think about what to eat.
You know the more you open and close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool.
Uh-huh.
For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC, they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
For the last 5 months, 7 teams were traversing the Belize Premier Basketball League jungle. 5 teams were eaten alive by pressure to survive. And now there's only 2 teams that remain to fight for who will be crowned the Benny's Jaguar Cup champion in the BPBL.
Yo, watch out. BPBL, right now are the hottest league in a Belize.
This is it, the granddaddy of them all, the big dance for the right to be called the 2025 BPBL Benny's Jaguar Cup champion. The Belize Civic Center will be the rendezvous on Friday and Saturday, September 26 and 27 for game 1 and 2 in the best of 3 series. Tip-off time 9 p.m. Which team will navigate through the BPBL jungle and be crowned?
Welcome to the jungle.
Introducing to you the 2025 Leslie's Imports Mayan Cup champion, the Kaya Western Ballers, led by their division finals MVP, Arik Nicholas, the high-flying Jaheim Sego, and their sharpshooter Devon Campbell on a journey to bring the Western Ballers their first BPBL championship. But who stands in their way? The Santiago Castillo Toucan Cup champions, the mighty San Pedro Tiger Sharks, led by the division MVP, Jihad Wright, the rebound king, Brian Bessa White, and the speed demon, Francis Naitiarana. Who will win the $15,000 and the 20 Benny's championship rings? Ring out the entire family Friday and Saturday, September 26 and 27 at the Belize Civic Center, beginning at 9 p.m. sharp for the BPBL Benny's Championship Classic. Lots of entertainment and giveaways. BPBL welcomes you to the jungle, where the Jaguar Cup will be raised. Sponsors.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Today, the foreign minister said that he is disappointed in Guatemala's press release, in which they blamed the BDF for provocations on the Sarstoon River. As we have reported, it was the Guatemalan armed forces who came into Belizean territory on multiple occasions, including on the 10th of September, where they planted their flag on the Sarstoon Island, which belongs to Belize. But are these actions just really the old guard, by the old guard, in the military, as the PM put it? Or does GOB have to accept that the Guatemalan army is engaging in doublespeak, telling the ministers one thing and their citizens another? Here's what the FM told us.
What's your reaction to their press release in which they sort of twisted or distorted the narrative of what happened over the weekend and on the 10th, as well as the end of the release where it says that there could never be a SARS-2 protocol?
Yeah, very, very disappointing. We responded, as you know, to that release with our own release, in which we categorically rejected their statements, distortions, in the face of clear video evidence to the contrary, by the way. So it's very disappointing. But as I mentioned in this dialogue we had today, we have to be smart, right? We have to be smart and we have to be strategic. We don't want to play into the hands of the hardliners and the old guard in Guatemala, who are not only seeking to undermine any progress between Belize and Guatemala, they're seeking to undermine their own government. We Belize we have to be strategic and smart. We don't play into that. We have to defend our position very firmly and consistently and strongly, but not get caught up in their internal politics. And of course, as I mentioned, we all know the long history of military rule in Guatemala. And so the military, whether we like it or not, continues to play a prominent role in the governance structure of Guatemala. And we have to be cognizant of that. We have to understand that. And we have to make sure that when we are responding and making decisions, that we recognize that.
But the release did come out of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and whom you've spoken to the minister. You guys have been in constant dialogue. But doesn't it feel a bit disrespectful that they will tell you one thing, but then go out and put out a release that says something completely different?
Yeah, as I said, very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. We've had very good discussions. As I said, very positive, productive talks between myself, the foreign minister, our national security ministers met with theirs. So, you know, it's sometimes very confusing to understand where they stand and what is happening. But as I said, we appreciate that there are many other factors at play within Guatemala, and we have to be cognizant of that and appreciate that as we move forward and make our decisions.
But what about sanctions for Guatemala? Belizeans on social media have been calling for the closure of the border, or at the very least, discouraging residents from going over to Melchor. Fonseca says that's not the route they're going to take.
Yeah, I don't think that would be productive at this time. I don't think that's productive at this time. We are pursuing a final, definitive, peaceful resolution through the courts. What we have to do is stand our ground, make sure that we continue to maintain our presence along the borders in the SARS-2 River, maintain our strong position in terms of our territorial integrity, as I keep saying, and national sovereignty, and make sure, very importantly, as you saw, our diplomacy works. We engage very immediately and quickly with CARICOM, with Commonwealth, with other organizations who came out in very, very strong terms to defend Belize's position and to condemn Guatemala's actions. So we have to continue to do that. And we can't react, as I said, we can't react to every incident and want to sort of knee-jerk response to say, oh, we'll do this, we'll close the borders. I don't think that would be productive at this time. What we have to do is keep our friends informed, our friends and diplomatic partners informed of what we're doing, and continue to engage meaningfully with other organizations that support Belize's right to self-determination, Belize's right to exist peacefully and coexist with Guatemala peacefully.
And while Fonseca is talking about meaningful engagement, the Guatemalan President Bernardo Arevalo repeated the hard line on Tuesday, even if he couched it in diplomatic language. Arevalo said Belize is the one escalating the tensions on the SARS-2, and the Guatemalans are just defending what's theirs, which is basically echoing the position of the Guatemalan Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
El Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores va a estar haciendo un pronunciamiento el día de hoy. Yo le daría a estos incidentes un marco interpretativo más amplio. Lo primero es que desafortunadamente son incidentes que recurren precisamente en el área del Sarstún a lo largo del tiempo, y en donde se ven involucradas las fuerzas de seguridad de ambos países, a veces también otros actores. Parte de esto es precisamente el hecho de que todavía no hay una definición al diferendo territorial que existe entre ambos países. Lo bueno es que tanto Belice como Guatemala hemos aceptado que este diferendo territorial sea dirimido por la Corte Internacional de Justicia, y entonces estamos a la espera o sea, ya se han ido evacuando las fases de presentación de las argumentaciones escritas por parte de los dos países en los últimos años. Este no es un proceso de meses, este es un proceso que lleva años, y estamos a la espera de que se fije el comienzo de la etapa de las presentaciones verbales. Es decir, ambos países estamos ya comprometidos con una vía de una solución de derecho, y hemos acordado que va a ser por la vía de la justicia y de la Corte Internacional. En el ínterin existen este tipo de situaciones que se generan a nivel local, que tienen explicación en términos de esos incidentes entre elementos de tropa uno y de otro país. Inmediatamente nosotros nos hemos puesto en contacto con las contrapartes beliceñas para ir aclarando esto. No entendemos mucho por qué Belice, por ejemplo, le subió el tono, pero creo que todo el mundo tiene claro de que esto es una cuestión que hay que ir, que tenemos que ser muy claros para controlar, evitar que se convierta en un problema. Desde el lado guatemalteco, ser muy claros y firmes en la defensa de la soberanía, pero sobre todo en evitar que eso se convierta en un problema que trascienda a lo que es, porque estamos ya comprometidos en el proceso de resolución del conflicto.
Again, that statement was made on Tuesday. And while that is the perplexing state of affairs between Belmopan and Guatemala City, there's another burning issue between our two countries, and that is the abduction of Joseph Budna and his handover to Guatemalan police. As we told you yesterday, he is suing the government, the police department, and various cops for his alleged abduction and extradition. Today in Belmopan, the foreign minister said that representatives from the embassy in Guatemala have been checking on his well-being. And as for the lawsuit, he added that he wasn't surprised since Budna had made it clear that he intended to file it.
Yeah, we've said that when Mr. Budna was taken into custody again in Guatemala by the authorities there, we advised our embassy staff to visit with him. They did so. They checked on his health to make sure he was in good health, and they ensured that he was being provided with medication. He needs medication. And then also to check with him about his legal representation. He advised us that he was getting his own lawyers. We made it clear to him that we would, anything we could do to support him in that process, we would do. If he could not access legal representation, then we would work, our embassy would work with the Guatemalan authorities to make sure that he did have adequate legal representation. So that's what the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been doing.
What do you make of the fact that now he's suing the police department?
Yeah, I've heard about it. I haven't had an opportunity to see the claim. But I think he said that. He even said that to our representatives when they visited him in jail, that he intends to sue the government of Belize. So it comes as no surprise. Obviously, that will have to go through the legal process. That is his right as a citizen. So that will have to go through the courts.
And that Budna incident has led to the Commissioner Richard Rosado being put on administrative leave. After the break, you'll hear from his replacement, Bart Jones. Plus, a mother who went to study to be a doctor. She came back home to fulfill her dreams, but tonight they lie shattered. You'll hear why. Stay tuned.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Come to banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skin. Smell so wide, let's begin. At banquet where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquip's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquip fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skin. Smell so wide, let's begin. At Banquip where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight.
Banquip. Equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Make every moment matter with your credit card. More transactions, more chances to win cash back. You can be one of 4 monthly winners. Get a chance to win cash back with every purchase of $100 or more. For more information, visit www.atlabank.com. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The new e-invoicing tax system means every purchase will be visible to those in power before you've even paid for it. Because in their minds, you're not citizens. You're suspects. And when they want to enforce, they can cherry pick. It's who they decide that gets sent to prison. It's who they say gets their heads shaved. And it's never the politicians.
Illegals need to pay their taxes.
The Prime Minister's sister, Vanessa Briceño, is said to owe $11 million in taxes.
She went in there, she negotiated.
They can negotiate. Young Belizeans trying to come up in the world can't. With their new surveillance system, justice becomes a weapon. And it's aimed right at us. It's time to stand up and speak out before it's too late.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
I don't want to be a bad guy. I don't want to be a tough guy. I want to get to the point in life where, I couldn't hurt a fly.
And he did. Kind of. Here we see Shine Barrow taking it like a man.
Oh my God!
A professional slap recipient. He turns the other cheek. But when his wife wants to visit her family,
Shine Barrow reportedly stomped his wife Catherine in the back.
The medical legal form doesn't lie. Miss Catherine Barrow went to the police, got a medical legal form. The doctor certified it as harm.
when a man slaps him, he can't fight back. But when it comes to his wife, suddenly he's Mr. Tough Guy. Shine Barrow. Can you really call yourself a man? You let another man slap you, but you can't handle your wife visiting her family? It's time for you to grow up.
However you travel, you're home. Book now and save 50% only at Naya.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The new e-invoicing tax system means every purchase will be visible to those in power before you've even paid for it. Because in their minds, you're not citizens. You're suspects. And when they want to enforce, they can cherry pick. It's who they decide that gets sent to prison. It's who they say gets their heads shaved. And it's never the politicians.
Belizeans need to pay their taxes.
The Prime Minister's sister, Vanessa Briceño, is said to owe $11 million in taxes.
She went in there and she negotiated.
They can negotiate. Young Belizeans trying to come up in the world can't. With their new surveillance system, justice becomes a weapon. And it's aimed right at us. It's time to stand up and speak out before it's too late.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Bart Jones is the acting compol right now. That's since September 8th when Richard Rosado was put on 45 days administrative leave as the government makes an assessment of culpability in the Budna abduction. And today, Jones was out in the field at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Bella Vista Police substation. Sanchez spoke to the public relations staff for the Ministry of Home Affairs today and says he's not new to this acting compol gig.
As acting commissioner, I've been, it is nothing different from I've been doing when I held over when Chester Williams, when he was commissioner, and I held over for a few days that he was out of the country on official business. It's the same that I've done in the past, and so the work of serving the people continues. That does not stop. The post of commissioner is but one person, and so the general rank and file of the police department continue to work at maximum to ensuring public safety and security.
Jones was in Bella Vista for the opening of a village substation. Now, you need to only watch the evening news to know that even though it is only a village, Bella Vista is supersized and it's also crime-ridden, home to many homicides and other violent deaths. But hopefully a greater police presence can curb that. Today, the groundbreaking was Today, the ground was broken, and with funds from Quebec, construction will begin. At the ceremony, the Minister of Home Affairs, the area rep, and the acting police commissioner explained why this substation is vital.
We are honoring our pledge of newer, better, modern police stations across the country, and this is the first of several new police stations that will be constructed across the country under the Cabe project. Here we are in beautiful Bella Vista, which is home to some 8,000 residents, peace-loving, law-abiding citizens who want greater peace and citizen security within their community. We have seen over the last few years where crime and violence has been growing and extending in the Toledo district, and we thought that Bella Vista was one of the key destinations for us to place a strategic police station. And so here we are constructing the Bella Vista police station. After this, we'll be constructing in San Narciso, Keycocker, Santa Elena, Orange Walk, and Corozal.
Well, in terms of the previous police station, it has served its time. The police station, for example, it's very small. It was designed actually for it to have just one police. Okay, and at that time the community was very small. It was back around the 1996. So the community at that time might have had maybe 600 persons, you know. But now, when you look at Bella Vista from a satellite standpoint of view, it has the same size as Punta Gorda.
At the conclusion of the construction of this building, which is long awaited by the police department, will service more than 15,000 persons that we currently service from the police department, currently service from the Bella Vista police station, which is the temporary location where we are at presently. This new structure will allow us to have the additional support services to this community and neighboring communities, domestic violence or gender-based violence, crimes investigation branch, the community policing, and the general police patrols, including the commanding officer and his deputies, will be housed in this building.
The University of Belize's annual Independence Symposium was held today as a part of the September celebrations. The theme, Belize Foreign Policy at 44 and Beyond, Priorities, Challenges, and Opportunities in a Changing World, featured the Foreign Minister as the keynote speaker. Following his speech was the panel segment where he answered questions from the moderator as well as from the audience. He explained that his main takeaway was Belizeans' views on the conflicts on the SARS tune.
It's something the National Celebrations Commission partnered with UB, I think 4 years ago. We really wanted to have our national university play a more meaningful role in our national celebrations, and we thought it was important for, our academics to participate in a meaningful discussion about the state of our nation. So every year they have been doing it, talking about where we are as a country, tackling, very important challenges. So this year they invited me in my capacity as Minister of Foreign Affairs because they wanted to have a discussion about Belize's foreign policy and the challenges that lie ahead. I think the big takeaway is that I think the Belizean people, have a very good understanding of the dynamics that exist between Belize and Guatemala. They appreciate that, it's a complex issue, and that while we are pursuing legal, peaceful resolution of this matter, that we continue to deal with very, very delicate challenges on the ground.
During the symposium, one of the topics Fonseca spoke about was the petition launched yesterday by the newly formed Solidarity Group, Liberation 921. As we told you, the petition urges the government to remove the visa waiver for Israeli passport holders. So far, it has over 300 signatures, and the foreign minister says that he is prepared to take it to cabinet for further discussion.
Yeah, certainly. If we have a petition that comes from citizens of Belize, we have to give respect to that petition. So certainly we'll be prepared to look at it, review it, and ultimately the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will advise the cabinet on what course of action to take, and then the cabinet would be the ones to make the final determination.
Do you feel like it's a valid request to remove this visa waiver in light of what's happening in the Middle East?
I think I need to look at it more closely and discuss it more, in a more meaningful way with our foreign affairs team. I don't want to get ahead of any decision that the government would make on the matter. So we'd have to review it more closely before I would take a position.
Another topic that came up during the symposium was the new Belizean embassies. Minister Fonseca told us that there will be 4 new embassies across the world within the next 18 months. Here's where they'll be.
Yeah, we are, as I said, we are planning to open an embassy in Geneva. We want to open one in Panama these are 2026. And certainly we're looking at the Middle East. We're looking at about 3 different countries where we'd have to choose one for a greater presence, for a presence in the Middle East. And then also Africa. Those would be our top 4 priorities in terms of embassy openings moving forward.
Well, the Geneva, Panama next year. What year are you looking for the other 3?
I would say the others would be in the next 18 months. 18 months. So between 26 and 27, we would want to open those 4.
And turning now to a matter of extreme public interest, did the Prime Minister's sister, Vanessa Briceño, pay her taxes? In 2021, we reported that she had been listed with arrears of $11.1 million in GST. So what happened was she spared the humiliation of imprisonment and a shaved head because of her connections. We asked the Director General of Sales Tax about it.
Enforcement is uneven, that, this sort of thing happened to him because he's a young black entrepreneur from a depressed community, that they don't have access to the things that wealthy business persons might have. And a lot of people are pointing to the case of the Prime Minister's relative, Miss Vanessa Briceño, who had a large amount outstanding as well. And as people are saying, she never gone to jail. So how do you respond to this criticism of uneven enforcement based on socioeconomic background or who you know?
I think that is a bit unfair. And I believe that basically it's because people just assume things. What happened is, I'll speak directly to the case of Miss Briceño. When Miss Briceño owed that amount, we went through the same process we're going through with Mr. Munnings. We brought her in. We said to her, this is what you owe. We went through the ability to pay process, and she made a commitment to pay off her taxes. She stuck to that payment plan, and she paid off her taxes that she owed.
And we take a break now. When we come back, Dr. Kiram in Medina tells us why her dreams of being a doctor in Belize lie shattered after a difficult internship. Stay tuned.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
I don't want to be a bad guy. I don't want to be a tough guy. I want to get to the point in life where, I couldn't hurt a fly.
And he did. Kind of. Here we see Shine Barrow taking it like a man. A professional slap recipient. He turns the other cheek. But when his wife wants to visit her family,
Shine Barrow reportedly stomped his wife Catherine in the back.
The medical legal form doesn't lie. Miss Catherine Barrow went to the police, got a medical legal form. The doctor certified it as harm.
when a man slaps him, he can't fight back. But when it comes to his wife, suddenly he's Mr. Tough Guy. Shine Barrow. Can you really call yourself a man? You let another man slap you, but you can't handle your wife visiting her family? It's time for you to grow up.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Tenemos la capacidad técnica, operativa, profesional y la infraestructura de poder establecer una atención neurológica de alta calidad.
Que no se pierda tiempo de forma innecesaria para poder al final del día llegar al mejor de los resultados y la mejor opción para el paciente.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Come to banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skin. Smell so wide, let's begin. At banquet where dreams ignite. Gear up, let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquip's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquip fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skin. Smell so wide, let's begin. At Banquip where dreams ignite. Gear up, let's take flight.
Banquip. Equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
As children, many of us dream of being a medical doctor. But life has a way of convincing most of us that it's too hard, or it would take too long. But for Kira Medina, that dream came to life after she had finished high school and had 3 children. She pursued her dreams at medical school in Nicaragua and then came back to Belize to live that dream and contribute to her community as a doctor. But tonight, that dream lies shattered because she says a punitive and punishing internship at the KHMH broke her. Here's part 1 of her story.
Kira Medina graduated from medical school in Nicaragua in 2022. She had completed her internship and returned to Belize, eager to contribute to her country's health sector. It wasn't easy for this child of the city, who didn't even speak Spanish before she left.
I started my career when I was 26 years old. And like I said, I had 3 kids at the time. I never thought I could have done it, but eventually I ended up doing it. You know, it took a lot of time and effort, but I failed a couple classes, and I'm not ashamed to say it, you know. The language was a very difficult thing for me, and in time, I proved myself. I was so proud. I was so proud because I had accomplished something that I never thought I could have accomplished. I wouldn't say a victim, I am a survivor of teenage pregnancy. I had my first child when I was in my 4th year of high school, and I thought that was it for me. You know, all I had was a high school diploma, and when I got the opportunity to go and study medicine, I was like, I don't think I can do it, you know? Like, I have 3 kids now, like, how am I going to do it? But I told you, with that strong support I had, it made it possible for me. So coming back home and being so proud, coming back home to serve my country, after obtaining my title of being a doctor, being recognized and being respected and acknowledged in a different country, I was proud to come back home and said, you know what, I can do it.
And she tried, but she said she had a hard time getting the sense of Belize's medical system.
It took me a year to find out that the system here in Belize, it is different. I studied medicine, but in a different country. Now I come home and I want to practice, but I wasn't given a clear explanation or a clear introduction, and it never felt right. Because if you're if I'm required to perform a specific task, I need an introduction. You need to at least show me how to use the system here in Belize and at least guide me. This is supposed to be a learning, nurturing experience. So where is my introduction into the program? I never got that. And I felt lost.
And that's why she only lasted 1 week in a 1-year medical internship, which she started at the KHMH in 2022. So now, but other people are going through it too. Hundreds have matriculated through this internship system. And they came out on the other side licensed and perhaps the wiser for the experience. Yeah. But it didn't work out that way for you.
No, it didn't. I was so disappointed with the rejection of coming home and just not feeling accepted. So I decided to withdraw from the internship.
She tried again in 2024, and it was more encouraging.
Everything was painted good. Everybody treated you with respect and love and welcoming and everything until you really get into the work. Then you start to see familiar patterns starting to come back out.
Specify.
Specifying in the sense of the bullying and degradingness.
Explain how it is that an adult who is a doctor is subjected to bullying and what you interpreted as degrading behavior.
I would say, like for example, you're required to do a on-call. Or on-call are for 24 hours. And this 24 hours on call, you have to repeat it every 3 days. So for example, let's say on Monday, I'm supposed to be on call. I will report to the hospital at 7 a.m. and I won't be leaving until Tuesday, 3 p.m. because I have to do my on-call, which is 24 hours. Then we have our regular schedule, which is 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday. So within 1 day, you would be at least subjected to 32 to 36 hours every 3 days. With those on call, you're responsible to know everything that happens in the ward. And if you don't know, or if you're oblivious or blinded to, a patient came in but I was sleeping, the head doctor will degrade you in front of the patient. They would ask you certain questions. If you're unable to answer, you will be humiliated and degraded. As a patient, hearing another doctor degrading you in front of him or her, it feels very embarrassing.
And Dr. Medina says she has chosen to speak out in the hope that it will force change. Dozens, scores of doctors have probably gone through it. Why are you complaining?
I understand that many doctors go through it and many keep silent, but many do complain, but their complaints aren't being heard. But then that's the thing, because I know that me speaking out right now, I will get a lot of backlash. I don't care. I will accept everything. They can do nothing more to me than they have already done. So somebody needs to speak out.
But you are speaking out because you have a daughter.
I have a daughter that's studying medicine. She's in her first year of medicine. And I refuse for my child to go through what I'm going through right now.
In part 2, find out why she says they can't do anything more to her than they already have, as she gets locked out of the KHMH. Find out why in tomorrow's part 2.
Like, I never thought it would have reached this level. Not to be publicly, I'm sorry.
We'll have part 2 of that story tomorrow. But it culminates in Medina being locked out of the KHMH. So she has not been able to finish her internship. Now, first of all, the internship program is run by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. It started in 2007 to give all returning doctors 1 more year of medical exposure. We spoke to the Director of Hospital Services, Jorge Polanco, who told us that he has been following up closely on the concerns and issues Dr. Medina has raised with the management of the internship. He says in her case, it is the consensus of the medical professionals at the KHMH managing the program that her grades have not been satisfactory in a number of the medical rotations. As for her being locked out of the KHMH, he says there were issues with a police report being made against her by another doctor. And there were concerns about her capturing video with her cell phone in the hospital. You'll hear her side of that story tomorrow. For a bodybuilder, a major competition requires months of dedicated preparation leading up to a competition. And it does not matter how well you eat and how many hours you spend in the gym. Often your training follows a strict schedule so that your results and your physique peaks just in time for the night of the competition. It's a tight balance between nutrition and training, and if the competition is moved to a later date, then all that physical priming goes apart. And that's why there's a concern that the Belize Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation has changed its competition date for the Mr. Belize competition from October 4th to November 21st. We spoke with one of the trainers who told us why his trainee has decided to pull out of the competition.
I've been training Zaire for the past 7 months, and I train my clients so that they can peak at the right time. I saw this notice Tuesday. I was like, it came like a shock, because we are preparing, and all of a sudden, hey, it's going to be November 21st. So, I mean, how do you deal with something like that when you know? And a lot of people think that this is just physical. This is mental. Every day I have to talk to my client, to keep them happy and, motivated, because it's not easy at all. Bodybuilding is not an easy sport, all right? So you have to keep them on track and because I've done it before. I've done it for many years. So I know what it feels like. All of a sudden you say, oh, we're not doing this anymore with no prior notice. Why? Explain. No apology, no sorry for the inconvenience, nothing like that. No, man, that's not how you go about doing things. You do invest a lot of time and effort, money, resources. So it really, if you're not in shape, then I can understand the next 2 months is, the guy's going to be happy. Yeah, I got 2 more months to train. But if you're in shape, you'd be like, hey, let's get it on. And this is the reason why they give you the date. They give you a calendar of events. So you train towards that date.
In other news, 19 Belizean patriots were honored last night for their contributions within their areas of work and practice, 4 of them posthumously. 17 of the patriots received meritorious service awards, while 2 received an order of distinction, one of them being for his contributions to broadcasting and culture. Here is what we gathered from the tribute to Belizean patriots last night.
For over close to 50 years, Stone Jam, as he's called, has been entertaining Belize on a whole, Belize City, all across the country. Music, doing concerts, he's done a lot in terms of building culture, building what is authentically Belize in terms of our music and our entertainment. He is one of the first DJs that you could say had a following. So when you hear Stone Jam is playing, people will follow. I think if you ask any of his peers, they will tell you that he is a senior statesman as a DJ. He has been a trendsetter. He has provided a level of guidance and support for them in terms of building their own businesses. He has been at the forefront for many, many years.
Tonight, he is being presented with the Meritorious Award for his contribution to culture.
I like to look at Ms. Jamie Usher as a pioneer. Ms. Usher is really one to be bold. I won't say fierce, but I would just use, she's bold, she's courageous, and she's leading in these particular STEM activities. She is trying to show us the way forward, the next steps to take, and so forth, is usually very comforting. So I really think she has the right attitude, approach, and also to the meaning about the way forward, especially as far as STEM and STEAM is concerned.
And another round of applause for Ms. Jamie Lee Usher.
Honored to have been asked to do this for this lady who I believe is a giant of a woman. She's been a mentor for me my entire life. She's introduced me to the teacher education sector, and she's been there for me at some critical milestones in my professional journey. She was also a part of the core team that helped to establish the University of Belize. The Teachers College evolved into the Faculty of Education and Arts at the university, and she was the first dean. And so naturally was very instrumental in laying the groundwork, the foundation for the Faculty of Education and what we know it to be today.
Tonight, she is being presented with the Meritorious Award for her contribution to education. Another round of applause for Dr. Cynthia Shillett Thompson.
Eddie Seferino Coleman is a unique character. There cannot be two Eddie Seferino Coleman. One. And I don't think he has been equaled since his passing, because he was unique and he was tailor-made for the era he broadcasted in. I know that he touched the lives of every Belizean in that era, because there was only one radio station in Belize. If you wanted to listen to what was happening in Belize, you had to listen to Radio Belize. He had a weekly show, a Return of Seferino, on Wednesday evenings, right? And everybody would wait for a Return of Seferino. He would introduce and say, Eddie Seferino Claudino Fistularis Tobincos Tobias, hijo de la Rosa y don Mentán de la bella isla del Benqueviejo del Carmen. And so when Seferino was on, he had the whole of Belize listening to him. So his comedian way of presenting things, his unique style outside of the comedy as well, right? Just his unique personality contributed a whole lot in creating the Belizean identity.
Accepting the award of distinction on behalf of his late dad is Mr. Gerard Denton Coleman. Another round of applause for Edison Seferino Coleman. At this time, we invite the Prime Minister to join the awardees and the...
The event was held at St. John's Cathedral. And a good number of Patriots were alive in the early 60s when our next interviews occurred. These gems of the Nationalist era were posted on Facebook today by Edward Vincent Martinez, and they show persons we believe to be Rosita Williams and Sir Alexander Sandy Hunter. They were in the UK for talks in 1961 with the British when the militant Guatemalan president, Idígoras Fuentes, scoffed at the idea of an independent Belize. Here are those interviews, starting with a person we believe to be opposition member Rosita Williams.
You're a leading member of the opposition, and you've said recently on several occasions that all the government party is concerned with is handing this country over to Guatemala. Now, why do you say that?
Because I was a member of the People's United Party.
That's the government.
That's the government now in British Honduras.
Yes.
And I was sent to Guatemala the first time in October 1961 to meet the President of Guatemala. I was sent from the PUP government. When I met Idígoras, we spoke about self-government and independence for British Honduras. Well, I told him that Mr. Price said...
He's the First Minister.
Mr. Price, the First Minister of British Honduras, said he was fighting to help us get independence, which was something good and all the people wanted it. Well, Idígoras Fuentes, who is the President of Guatemala, just laughed at me. He said I was a fool to believe something like that. That Guatemala wouldn't fight for British Honduras if they had nothing to gain. That they hope to get this place, British Honduras, and make it his 23rd department.
So you think that the government here is in league with Idígoras to help him in his aims, or do you think they're in league with him merely as a political maneuver to get independence for British Honduras?
Well, I am sure that they are fighting side by side with the President of Guatemala to make this place a part of Guatemalan territory.
But why do you think they want to do that?
Well, I guess they have gotten so much money already, they hope to get a lot more, and they hope to get more power by doing so.
Moresby put this allegation to the Deputy First Minister of British Honduras.
That is entirely incorrect. The presumption of our opposition people is based on actions that took place years ago. I have been connected with the party since 1960, in fact, since 1959 possibly, and one who knows will realize that our party is a signatory to the preamble of the new Constitution, and that preamble unequivocally states that we will stay within the Commonwealth and that we will pay allegiance to the existing sovereign of the United Kingdom.
But what about the Guatemalan claim to British Honduras? How does your party view that?
I think our stand was made very clear by the First Minister at the Puerto Rico talks. It is my understanding that he made it clear to the Guatemaltecan delegation that we offer them friendship, we offer them any sort of help that we can give them, but on this premise that there must be no surrender whatsoever of sovereignty or of 1 square inch of this country's territory.
Anyone who knows the date of those interviews or can confirm the names of the speakers, please feel free to post on our Facebook page. And that's it for 7 News Tonight. Thanks for watching. I am Jo Marie Lanza. You can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Have a good night and join Miriam Abdul Kawi back here tomorrow.